Folks, in this world, we all find out sooner or later that not all of us are destined to be professional athletes. Maybe you're on the lucky side of that equation and you realize that every single time you've engaged in physical competition with others, you have excelled and you realize that you're special in a way that most others aren't. Unfortunately, I became very well acquainted with this fact at a very young age. You see, at 5 years old as a kindergartner, I played with the local recreation center, their soccer league that they had over the summer for kids to just get outside and run around. And I had the misfortune of playing on a team that lost every single game of the season except for the very last game of the year. It was raining so hard that we showed up to the field, saw it pouring, said, you know what, there's no way they're going to play this game, so we left. Word got back, they did in fact play, and they ended up winning that one. So I like to say that's where my self-esteem career started, and now I'm here making YouTube videos, so it all worked out, as you can tell. My name is Nick Boonstra. This is Squad Talk FPL. Thank you so much for watching. I make YouTube videos here about fantasy soccer. I watch the English Premier League, and I talk to you about how my team is doing week to week. If you're new to the game, if you're new to FPL, welcome. There's never too late to start. New leaderboards every single week, free to play right in your browser, as well as it's an app. It's not going to be the best app you've ever used. It used to be better, just believe us. And if you're new to the channel in any capacity, thank you. Warm welcome to you. Make sure you hit subscribe because, as we all know by now, not even I know my upload schedule, but make sure you hit this video with a like if you like it. Any questions you have down in the comments, and I appreciate you guys have been getting engaged in the comments. We're going to get to that in a little bit. We are 6 weeks done now in this season of 25-26, the year of our Lord 25-26, and it was a good one for me. Not quite in the same way that everyone else had a great week, but I'm excited to tell you about it. Let's go ahead, jump right in, and see how we did. So game week 6 was a good one. Now, my whole thing going into this week was not the week to triple captain Erling Haaland. Now, if you're new, again, none of those words are going to make sense to you. Erling Haaland, Norwegian god among men, very good striker, plays for Manchester City. Triple captain, every week you pick one player, their points are doubled once a week or once a year, but now it's twice a year. First half, second half, you get to pick one player in 1 week and their points are tripled instead of doubled. Now, Erling Haaland, Man City going up against Burnley, obviously that was going to be a very good fixture. Obviously it was a very good fixture. I did keep him, I did captain him. I know some people in my comments thought I was going to be down in the doldrums of the 600 million, 6 million. Listen, might as well have been 600 million. I had a lot of victory laps in my comments saying, oh, Erling Haaland did very well. Yes, he did very well. I knew he was going to do very well. 2 goals and an assist against Burnley is a very good return, and one that we should have expected against Burnley. I just think he's going to do better later. We'll get to that later. Other than that, a lot of blanks around the team. Richarlison, Isak, Kudus, Reinders, and Munoz, as well as Donnarumma in net. So that was disappointing to see. Bruno Fernandes, blank wasn't good enough for him, so he had to go ahead and miss a penalty and get a yellow card. So a whole -1 from him. And yet, even off of all of that, we end the week with 68 points and a small but substantial enough green arrow from about 330k to about 230k. And it was all thanks not just to Haaland, but Semenyo in midfield, Mr. Senesi getting another assist. I know I said last week that we don't pick him for his assists, but maybe we do now because that's his second of the year. And above all, Mr. Michael Keane, the very first right here official inductee to the Squad Talk FPL Hall of Fame, and an honorable mention to Alex Volo as well over on Twitter, who gave me the inspiration to go for Keane over Tarkovsky, at Alex Volo FPL over on X there on Twitter if you want to follow him. He's got a lot of great content, and he'll tell you, he made it clear it wasn't a prediction. He doesn't want anyone thinking that he's predicting how people are going to do, but he certainly gave me a good way to think about the Everton defense, and I'm glad he did, because that goal from Keane, even though it came against my beloved West Ham United, sent me into raptures, so I was excited to see that. I know Munoz might have been an interesting pick, and I talked all about that last week. A defender going up against Liverpool. Obviously, Liverpool, very strong attacking side. I did say this might be the week that they falter, and they end up faltering. Munoz, very attacking defender, as I'm sure you know if you watch the games, and had some good chances there on the wing. As I recall, 2 strong attempts at a goal, 2 strong shots that ended up not going in, as well as a potential assist. So he's a good option still going forward. And as I've told you, the Liverpool defense is really not one that I rate very highly. Kudus and Richarlison, disappointing that they didn't team up. They had that goal chalked off, I believe. I couldn't tell you all the details. A crazy game for Tottenham. They were only getting a 1-1 draw with Wolves. But certainly would have been nice to see Kudus and Richarlison on the score sheet. Certainly disappointed that they didn't. Quick honorable mention for my bench here, where I would have done even better. Roofs, man, what are you doing? What are you getting 10 points for over Donnarumma's 2? What are we talking about? And then Mukiele as well, the Sunderland defense. Apparently we're all sleeping on it. Apparently we have all missed out on the Sunderland defense because they are absolutely killing it right now. And then Isak blanking, definitely a bit of a disappointment the 1 week that we know he's going to start. I would not consider him someone to hold on to going forward because we don't know with Ekitike coming back and with Isak. Sure, it's just 1 week, but failing to return, Ekitike looks good, so we'll see how that all goes. And of course, with this being my free hit week, everything's going to revert to the way it was last week, although as we'll see in just a moment, it's not really going to matter that much because we're shipping everybody out again. Again, if you're new to FPL, you get a certain number of free transfers. You start with 1. If you don't make 1, it goes up to 2, up to a total of 5 that you can roll maximum. If you make transfers on top of that, that's beyond what you have in your free allotment. You start losing points, so 68 becomes 64. Sorry. You lose 4 for each one, so 68 becomes 64. Yeah, math is hard, guys. And then 60, and then so on. So I really didn't expect a green arrow. I mean, I looked at everything going on by the end of Saturday. My live FPL live rank was showing me down around the 400,000s, almost at the risk of 500K, and with Keane, the only guy that I had left that wasn't playing on Saturday. Sorry if you can hear the train in the background. The fact that Michael Keane was the only one I had left to play after Saturday, I was like, I'll be lucky if I'm not in the 500,000 or worse. And the fact that I end this week, survive triple captain Haaland, play my free hit, and still get a green arrow with only the 1 return outside of Saturday, crazy to me. So we're doing really well this season. That's the only chip that I've played so far. To be in and around the top 200,000-300,000, trying to climb even higher. I've had 1 top 100K finish. And again, if you are new to FPL, I'm going to be saying that a lot. It's something I came into this channel wanting to emphasize, and I'm going to be emphasizing it. I feel like I've just been throwing things at the wall as far as assuming that you know who all these players are and how all this stuff works. So I want to keep on hitting this idea that you could be new to soccer, you could be an American like me, and this was something that helped me get into the sport. World Cup coming up next year, I'd love to get you as excited about the beautiful game as I am. So with that, what was I just saying? Nope, we lost it. I weaved and I can't weave back. We got it. We're back. So with that being said, if you're new to FPL, maybe you're familiar with fantasy sports in an American context where you and 11 of your friends sit down before the start of the season, get some wings, get some beer, and draft out all your players. Here, you're not just up against 11 of your buddies, you're up against the whole world playing this game, and that's about 10 to 12 million teams total. Now, of course, you get to the bottom of that. Maybe you come into the season with strong intentions, but 1 or 2 bad weeks, and all of a sudden it gets tempting to never log in again. And on the flip side too, you got people coming in every week. So I started right at the start of the season. I've got the game week 1 leaderboard, but the overall is going to include people who started other weeks, who are on the game week 3 leaderboard or the game week 10 leaderboard, depending on when they start. And of course, we all hit the second chance league at the winter break at the half of the season, where of course you keep your original team and your original ranks, but there's a whole new ranking that only counts towards the second half of the season. So everyone who's starting late, started early, we all have a level playing field in that league to get into. So as far as there being, over 10 million people in the in FPL this year, the fact that I'm up around the top 200,000-300,000 is just crazy to me. I'm very excited about it. I want to keep it going. I've had that 1 top 100,000 finish a few years ago. I would love to beat that this year, looking at the top 50K or even better. Of course, everybody is so funny. I tell people that I played this fantasy, and it's so many people, and it's like, oh, so are you trying to win? And it's like, well, yeah, we're all trying to win, but no one's gonna win. You know what I mean? Someone is, but I'm not gonna be that person, I don't think. So it would be nice, it would be fun, but you don't play FPL trying to be the one guy. Now, before we get into what my team is going to be looking like for game week 7 and beyond, I want to make a deal with you. In fact, I want to make a bet with you, because you guys have gotten under my skin, on my nerves. You listened. I appreciate that. I asked you guys to comment, and boy, did you. So I'm gonna stand up for my name and for what I've said on this channel already. We're going to go ahead. As you can see, we've had some very confident and very strong comments. People really responding to my "Don't Triple Captain Erling Haaland" little short that I put out from my video a couple weeks ago. And I talk about how we play Gutful FPL here, and apparently Gutful FPL leads to rank 6 million, even though, again, I'm in the around the top 200,000 here. A lot of people reminding me that it was a good week to triple captain him. Who's here after I got 39 points before bonuses? 50 point triple captain, trying to victory lap on someone who actually agreed with me. We love that. We appreciate the support. We appreciate that. This is probably the worst of them all. Okay, bud, ha ha ha. He has got 48 points. Yes, he has. And as I say here, I realized after the fact that this doesn't work, because 55 isn't a multiple of 3, so there's actually no way a triple captain can get 55 points. But correct, and he'll get 55 against Leeds. We will be there. I don't want to just say that. I want to put something on it. So here's my deal with you, with my Squad Talk FPL community, and it is a burgeoning, a budding community, a growing community. I'm glad to have you guys a part of it, and I want to get you guys engaged, get you guys interested, want to keep you guys around. So your end of the bargain, your end of the wager here is you're going to hit subscribe and you're going to keep watching these videos. My end of the bargain is I'm going to stand by my word. I think game week 13 against Leeds was and will be, still is, even despite his performance against Burnley, a better triple captain opportunity for Erling Haaland. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to triple captain Erling Haaland in game week 13. And if he does not outperform the 48 points that he got as triple captain this week, I will sell him for the rest of the season. And you, by means of the comments and how you vote, the top comment on this video is going to dictate who I have to replace him with for the rest of the season. As cheap or as expensive as you want, as fit and available, or as sold to Turkey as you want, I will sell Erling Haaland and not bring him back for the rest of the season if he doesn't outperform his Burnley triple captain when I triple captain him against Leeds. Now, I want to make one very important stipulation. There have also been some comments, I'll quickly see if I can find them here, trying to remind me that there's a lot of time between now and then, and he could get hurt between now and then. That's stupid. I know he could get hurt between now. Any player could get hurt between now and then. It's called FPL. That's why we play. There's chance. We don't know who's going to be fit from one week to the next. So this bet is void, is neutralized only if he is injured going into the game. Not rested if he's played during the week. And I am making this bet only limited awareness that there's a game against a Man City game against Real Madrid during the week. So if he's rested, this bet still stands. But if there is an announcement with a red flag on the FPL website that he is injured, Pep says he's not going to play, then this bet is off. Because in that situation, I would have and will plan for that and plan around that. That's how FPL works. I come in and I look ahead and I look at the fixtures and I get a certain idea of how things are going to go. And if things change between now and then I'm going to change my plan. That's how FPL is played. That's how FPL works. So if Erling Haaland is known to be injured going into game week 13 and doesn't play for that reason, the bet is off. But if for any other reason he plays, I triple captain him and his total is less, I'll even say he has to beat it. If he matches the 48 points as triple captain against Leeds, he's gone. He has to score 49 or better, and I think he will. I'm honestly surprised people are victory lapping over 2 goals and an assist. He just needs all he needs. He just needs to hit a hat trick against Leeds. Maybe it's 4, maybe it's 5, and I think that's very possible. So I feel good about this bet. I feel good about making it with you guys, but you have to hold up your end of the bargain, okay? Again, I'm not watching you while you're sleeping, but I ask that you would subscribe and stick with me in this journey to see how it goes, and I'm excited to see along with you. Now, with all that being said, game week 7, looking ahead, and we are going back-to-back on the chips. Last week, it was the free hit, and this week we have the wild card active. I really like the Arsenal fixture swing, and I just feel like it's a good time to shake things up, get some new players. Cole Palmer's still going to be out for a few weeks, and that's something that I feel like is not on its own. But listen, we're wild card. Okay, stop making me explain this to you. I just wagered my second half of my season life on a bet to hold up my own pride, so don't expect me to make sense with my wild card decision. In goal, and this is all subject to change. I've already tinkered with it a bit, and certainly possible that it continues to get tinkered with. Right now, it's Petrovic and Pope as my 2 goalies. David Raya is definitely somebody that I was thinking about looking at. Don't think I'm going to go there, mostly because I want to have my 3 Arsenal assets elsewhere in the team. I don't want to have to take away from Gabriel Saka or Gyökeres, those being my free Arsenal picks. I was thinking about Donnarumma. Obviously, it was a disappointing result to concede against Burnley and not get any save points. So just the 2 points there was, I mean, obviously not what I was expecting. I started him over Roofs, so that was on a free hit. I brought him in because I thought he would get me points. So that's a bummer there, and does kind of get me a bit questioning if he's someone I'm going to go with. Nick Pope has always been a good goalie, man, and the Newcastle defense has always been a good defense. Nottingham Forest, Brighton, Fulham, all teams that can score goals. Forest is a little shaky. Brighton is doing better. I've been underrating them. They're better than I think they are. Fulham, they're just going to be kind of mid-table. West Ham after that, Brentford after that. So the fixtures are decent. His returns have been good. 34 points total over the season, as you can see, second behind Roofs, and obviously he's someone to look at too. I don't know about Man U, but again, you've heard me talk about how poorly I rate Wolves so far this season. Everton, maybe good for a goal, maybe two. They're decent. They're decent. Chelsea and Arsenal would obviously be much tougher fixtures, and even then we would look at maybe how they rotate with Petrovic. Those are similar fixtures. That's Nottingham Forest and Fulham, 2 of the next 3 for Newcastle. Fulham and Nottingham Forest, 2 of the next 3 for Mr. Petrovic there. So maybe they don't even rotate that well. Now that I'm really looking at it and thinking about it, that might not be the most optimal. But I do like the idea of having someone from the Newcastle defense in there. And if it is Pope, then that would be all right. Dan Burn, also an option to look at as far as an actual defender goes. But right now, the defender lineup, we're looking at Gabriel. Obviously exciting to see him get that goal. Obviously not that he does that every single week, but there really is always that potential. And but really it's defensive contributions and clean sheets that you're looking at, and he's consistent enough with them that he's at the 6.2 price point that he is, and I'm sure he's only just going to go up. I doubt I'm the only one looking at a wild card this week. Really good fixtures for Arsenal coming up. West Ham, again, love my team, but we're just really not there this season. Even under Nuno, it's exciting to get a point away at Everton, but a point away at Everton is only good for so much when you have to face Arsenal next week. So West Ham, Fulham, Palace, Burnley, Sunderland, the next 5. That's a very good lineup across the both defense and attack. So excited to be cashing in or going all in on Arsenal assets. That's the phrase that I'm looking for. Senesi, can't sell him, can't bench him. Just an absolute machine right now for Bournemouth, and still at 4.7 million. If you don't have him in your team, I would do just about anything you can to get him in your team. Tarkowski, we're going to hang on to. This is another guy that I was looking at selling. I don't know. I wouldn't keep Michael Keane. As excited as I am that he got the goal that he did, I don't think he's someone that you can really rely on over the course of a season. Palace, City, and Tottenham is a tough next 3. So he might be somebody that we look at shipping off, especially if we were to try to go up to a Raya or a Donnarumma or whatever. We need to find some extra funds somewhere. That could mean Tarkowski leaving. Munoz is someone that I thought about as well. I liked his performance against Liverpool. It's obviously disappointing that he didn't return, but he certainly could be somebody that we might want to bring in. And I'm just curious if he is registering at all as far as transfers out. Decently was, so that's what, 33k out, and is he getting a whole lot of transfers in? I just want to know what to expect. Yeah, 33k in. All right, so he's moving around a lot. See what that means in terms of a price rise or a price fall for him. But right now it's Tarkowski. Got to keep Diouf, man. He just got another assist. Arsenal, obviously, I'm planning on benching him this week, but I think he's someone that you have to keep overall. And then Alderete, Sunderland defender, just as a cheap 4.0 million, someone that could be serviceable on a bench boost, someone that is a 90-minute man in a decently, surprisingly strong defense this year, but we'll see how that all goes. Midfield, we're looking at Saka, Semenyo, Jadon Anthony, can't overlook him anymore, Kudus and Paquetá. Saka, I think it's the perfect time to get him in. I think he's going to get a lot of transfers in now that he's fit, and now that Arsenal are getting this fixture swing. Still really no production to speak of over the course of the season, just the 1 goal coming against, you guessed it, Leeds, thank you very much, for a 6-pointer, and that being only a 52-minute performance, the game that he left early with injury. So hopefully he is fully recovered from that now and back to regular 75 to 90-minute performances every week. Obviously, there are still some questions about the Arsenal attack and Gyökeres and Saka, and who's the man, who's the guy, how's it going to go? Saka's always someone that, I know Palmer's a little more expensive, but could always be Palmer once he's back to fitness and steady Eddie in midfield there. I think 2 of them, level playing field, both fit. I would rather go for Palmer than Saka. But for right now, with the fixtures and with the injury concerns for Palmer, I think he's a good bet for right now. Semenyo, I was late, guys. I should have gone there sooner. He's just a beast right now. And again, those fixtures that I was looking at, Fulham, Palace, Forest, solid enough next three for the Bournemouth attack. Evan Nilsson does leave, just to jump ahead a little bit here with Richarlison coming in. Again, bummer that he didn't score. Don't know how you can only call that, not that I watched the game, but listening to it on the radio, 0.2 XG sounds like a significant underrating of his involvement in the game and his chances. I guess when things get chalked off for VAR, offsides, things like that, they don't count. So there is that. But so many coming in. Jaden Anthony, he's just like, again, he's only 5.6 million. I don't know much about him other than the fact that he's like the leading midfielder right now. It's Semenyo and then it's Jaden Anthony in second, and then Enzo and Caicedo behind him. It's weird. I've had to throw a lot of my preconceptions out the window because things are happening that I'm not expecting here. But it's like, hey, listen, if he's doing this well, if he's having these kinds of performances, again, looking toward a bench boost, wanting to get 15 playing serviceable players that I can look to bench boost maybe within the next couple of weeks. I think game week 8 looks decent as far as the fixtures for this collective goes. I'll have to see. I mean, West Ham, going up against Brentford. There's really not a bad fixture for City. Arsenal are going to be going up against Fulham, so things like that. I want to get everyone lined up, and game week 8 might be the one. Another reason to sell Tarkowski, it's going to be City, so that might help us make that decision as well. But right now, Jaden Anthony is just a man on fire, and I don't know where it came from. I don't know where he came from, but he's 4 goals and an assist in 6 games is kind of hard to overlook right now, especially when he's playing 90 minutes every week. Aston Villa, again, not the strongest team so far this season, so certainly a chance for another return there. I am keeping Kudus and Paquetá. Again, Kudus really should have been on the score sheet there. He did clock in a 0.38 XG in the game there, so not too shabby. And then going up against Leeds, it's hard to ignore any attackers when they're going up against Leeds. So still taking corners, still getting assist potential as far as crosses in the box, and still taking shots of his own as well. So bummer that he wasn't on the score sheet there against Wolves, but always a threat. And listen, a former West Ham man, we always have him in our heart. And then Paquetá, he's an interesting one, man. I mean, we'll see how the new system under Nuno works and what kind of role he plays in it. I know it's only the 2 goals so far. He's only, 5.9 million, rather cheap, with still on penalties as far as we know. That's a big part of my decision. And of course, as we've seen with Bruno, you can take as many penalties as you want. If you're not making them, it's not really that helpful. So there is that. But he's someone that we can trust. Either he's playing a number 10 role or he's playing a false 9. Either he's the one facilitating the attack, making the passes to the forward line, or he's a part of that sort of deeper line, but still in that forward line himself. Sometimes he's playing on the left. So I still think there's potential with Paquetá. I'm still holding on to him, even if it's a bench option. Again, obviously, going against Arsenal, I'm not planning on starting him. But still someone I want to have. And then up front, it's going to be Haaland, as I said, Richarlison and Gyökeres. Haaland, if you don't have him in your team, what the hell are you doing, man? You can't ignore. 16 against Burnley is great. He's gotten 13 points against Man U and against Wolves. And again, I expect him to get at least 17 points before any captaincy. Versus Leeds, listen, again, 2 goals and an assist. I don't know what you're celebrating that for. I don't know what you're victory lapping that for. It's Erling Haaland. He can do better than that. And I sure hope he does, but I'm expecting him to. Richarlison, for the price, I like it. Again, if his minutes become a doubt, he has to be sold pretty quickly. And then Gyökeres, listen, it's early and he's good, and I told you at the start of this year, at the start of this channel, not to trust people from outside the Premier League until they proved it to you. And 3 goals isn't totally proving it to me, but the AI likes him. You go on FPL review and you plug in, give me a wildcard team, and Gyökeres is a popular pick, so that's something worth considering. Again, there's always tinkering that can be done. The other part of the equation is who else? Who else do you bring in? Like, let's take a quick look at the forwards here. Joao Pedro, it sounds like there's an injury concern with him. Ekitike has been doing great, but when does Isak take that spot full time? And then all of a sudden, it's already guys like Igor Thiago, Jared Bowen. Maybe things start to go well, but I'm already doubled up on West Ham. Is that a team I feel good tripling up on? Isildur, not throwing the ring away. It's a Sunderland forward. You know what I mean? Like, even if they are doing well, is that really someone you want to bring in? Then you get to Gyökeres, Chris Wood, Foster, Do I keep Evan Nilsson? You know what I mean? And then Watkins, Mateta maybe, Voltamata maybe. Those are definitely 2 names that have me interested. Welbeck, if he was a 90-minute man, I think it would be a no-brainer. But even, yes, he's scoring goals off the bench, but the fact that he's an off-the-bench player most weeks, I just don't, or he's not playing a full 90 most weeks, I should say. I just don't feel great about that. Dominic Calvert-Lewin is interesting for Leeds. Again, a high attacking side, but only 1 goal, 1 assist so far. We'll see if his minutes become, or stay secure, I should say, and if he continues to produce. It's a decent fixture run. Tottenham's a little tough, but then Burnley, West Ham, Brighton, and then Forest. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. So, and then Šeško, maybe the only other one who would start to catch my eye, but man, you have a lot more to figure out before I figure that out. So it's just kind of a case of who else do you put up there. I still might do some tinkering. Anthony Gordon in midfield is definitely someone who's interesting to me now that he's back. Yeah, the fact that I'm going without any Newcastle at all is a little tricky for me here. So Anthony might drop out, Gyökeres might drop out, and we might spread the funds a little more evenly to start looking at some of those options. But it is a wild card. It is confirmed. It is played, and we'll see what comes of it. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for your comments, for your egging me on and getting me mad enough to make a crazy bet. So again, that's going to be Erling Haaland. If he doesn't outperform, and this is all null and void if he's injured. Rested is different, but injured, this is all bets are off. But if he is playing in game week 13 against Leeds and my triple captain doesn't outscore this game week 6 triple captain, you will tell me who I have to replace him with, and it's going to be in the comments to this video. So I'll make links back to this one, but you have to be in the comments to this video. The very top liked comment is going to tell me who I have to replace him with for the rest of the year. So go ahead, get involved down there. Tell your friends that this idiot right here over in Massachusetts thinking he can tell all the FPL players back in England how to play their game. Go ahead and tell them that he's made a bet with his FPL life. Thank you for watching. If you do go ahead and check down the links in the description, I've got a link to my Buy Me a Coffee if you want to support the channel and send me a tip. I would greatly appreciate it. My Twitter's down there, my Twitch is down there, different things that you might be interested in as well. And I'm getting videos out to you at least once a week, possibly even twice. This is a Monday record, and I'm going to try to get something in on Friday as well with my wild card a little more locked down. And again, if you're new to FPL, I really want to help you fall in love with this game the way that I did. So if you have any questions that I can answer just about how the game is played, about how I got into it, about anything and everything that you might be thinking, go ahead and let me know. Until next time, I've been Nick Boonstra. This is Squad Talk FPL. Go out there, tinker with your team, win your week, and I look forward to talking to you soon. Peace.